Let's be factual. There's no current coach in the world better than Pep Guardiola.
Some crop of players who feel they've not been treated right.
You think so within the City team?
Yes, example is Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker, Pep Guardiola actually stopped Kyle Walker from making a move to Bayern Munich. How would he say he's not been cheated more?
The biggest surprise of English football is when Leicester won the title. 2016, right? Chelsea winning the title is going to be the second biggest surprise.
Hello, the team is back again, and we are back with a bang. This is a Our Media Review Show. We're talking about quite a lot that happened in Europe over the weekend. Interesting results panned out. But first, we'll be taking a look at what happened in the Manchester derby. It was a big game at the Etihad. Manchester City heading into that game with just one win in their last 10 games. And then for Ruben Amorim, it was back-to-back defeat in the Premiership for his side, Manchester United. So heading into that Manchester derby, you'd be thinking, which of these two teams actually has the upper hand to win it? Pep Guardiola hasn't really been himself for the past, 2 months with Manchester City. They've been huffing and puffing. It's not really working for them. But he made a statement after they lost that game to Manchester United. Guess what? Josko Vardio scored for Manchester City. And then, in a space of 2 minutes, after the 88th minute, Bruno Fernandes converted a penalty. And then it was Amad Diallo with a beautiful finish to end United a 2-1 win at Manchester City. So after the game, Pep Guardiola speaking, he says he doesn't believe he's even good enough to be head coach of Manchester City. Can you believe what the head coach is saying? Actually, that he's not good enough. I don't even think he understood what he said, but that's actually what he said. And then Bernardo Silva, one of the key figures at Manchester City, also comes out to say that they played like 15-year-olds on the day. Just can't believe what's happening to Manchester City. But for Ruben Amorim, it's a second win against Pep Guardiola in the space of a month, because during his time at Sporting CP, they beat them by 4-1 in the UEFA Champions League. So it's just a plus for him. But we'll be talking about what Pep Guardiola said. And do you think that it's the end of the road for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City? Mind you, they've dominated the Premier League in the past 6 years. They've won everything there is to win. You think they're just fatigued, or you just think that his time has actually come and karma is dawning on him? We'll just be talking about that extensively to see what is actually happening to City. I've been joined in the studios by two persons. They are regular customers, and I'll be introducing them to you shortly. And welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy returns.
Merry Christmas.
I don't celebrate Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You don't
I
have
don't
to
celebrate Christmas.
You don't get it. You don't have to be a Christmas
I'm
celebrant
no,
before. Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist.
It doesn't matter. It's a festive season.
Please,
You don't
I
have
don't celebrate Christmas.
Good day.
Good day, sir.
All right, so that's what we'll be dealing with in the next couple of minutes. So, all right, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, so it's Pep Guardiola. It's I don't know if you're a spiritualist, so perhaps to some extent you think that you believe in that popular saying that everything that has a beginning equally has an end. So, and just like former Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag said, that all eras do come to an end. You believe, this has something to do with, spirituality, or can you even wrap your head around what's happening to Manchester City? Is it been real to start off with?
Well, Josiah, you see, any connoisseur or any pundit or any analyst who do not believe in the fact that eras come and go and do not understand what the sport is, But you see, let me take it back to Ruben Amorim. I mean, it's a fantastic day for him, you understand, because since 1985, he's been the first manager to have won his derby, you understand? I mean his first derby, right, against City. And it goes to show that if things are right, he's going to, bring Manchester United out of the dungeons, to create some dynasty. But back to Pep Guardiola. This is not the end of an era. This is the beginning of creating another dynasty that is going to go on to dominate, because we have seen teams, come and go. We have seen Alex Ferguson reinvent himself continuously. We have seen Jose Mourinho reinvent himself continuously. This is something that Pep Guardiola has never faced, right? From his days at Barcelona to Bayern to City. This is the first time that he has faced a challenge that is bigger than himself. Because in 11 matches they've lost 9, right? As many as they've lost in 109 matches. So what we are trying to say is that in 109 matches, Man City lost fewer than 9. But in 12 matches, they've lost 9. So it tells
quite
you,
shocking.
yes. So it tells you the gravity. It tells you the the cataclysmic proportion of which the problem is. So is he going to be able to reinvent himself to rebuild the team again? Because in 1992, when Sir Alex Ferguson started winning, it came to a halt after 1999.
Yeah. But that was for just 2 seasons.
No, that was the re-emergence and dominance of what's the name, Arsene Wenger with Arsenal.
With Arsenal.
Then he reinvented himself again. So you have.
But did he go through such a rough patch? We are talking about something as unprecedented as what we are witnessing now. That in the history of Pep Guardiola as a manager, he's never seen a side lose as many games, in just a span of 11 games. It's never happened. And that's why, people feel that, it's the end for them, because there's something that has never happened to Pep Guardiola before. And talking about his time at Barca and then Bayern, he never spent more than 9 years over there. He's entering his 10th year as a Man City boss.
You see, something that Pep has never done was to stay beyond 3-4 years. I get to the point. But like you rightly said, everything that has a start has an end. But this is not the end of what?
You believe it's not the end?
It is not. You see, that's what I'm saying, that the question is that, is he going to be able to reinvent himself? Because every coach who appreciates and understands the game, and I can tell you for the fact that Pep Guardiola is going to go down in history as one of the best that the game has ever seen, probably just behind Sir Alex Ferguson.
You think, but even for now,
what is going to elevate Pep Guardiola above Sir Alex Ferguson is for him to reinvent himself, right, out of this mess that has been created.
Okay.
For him to be able to come back stronger and then start challenging for the championship and then caps again. If he's able to do that, then the conversation can go that, what can he not do again?
Okay, by the event he does it, or he's unable to do that.
You see, I am not going to be in the position to say that he's not going to be able to do it, because this is somebody that has won continuously. This is somebody that has,
But doesn't it scare you that this is the first time this thing is actually happening to him, and it's never happened to him?
The possibility of everything happening in football is high. You understand? I mean, we have seen, the decline of Jose Mourinho. We have seen the decline of Carlo Ancelotti to the extent that he came to Everton. So I am not saying that is going to be the decline of Pep Guardiola. What I'm trying to say is that there are low ebbs, there are condescending, or there are moments in your career as a coach. No matter how satisfying your results have been, there are moments that you might not be getting everything right, and this is such a moment.
Okay.
The question is that, is he going to be able to come back with different ideas? Because you see, there are moments that he tries to overthink himself. I think that he needs to go back.
But he's not doing that anymore, is he?
No, he's not doing that anymore, because the ideas are gone. I get it. So just come back to the basics. You see, another problem is the fact that they've been reliant on a number of players who have been together for like 6, 7, 8 years, and those players are now aged. So that is also a factor. So he has to come back again, reassess, reanalyze the whole situation, and try as much as possible to be backed by the hierarchy, which I know they are going to do.
Okay, so I'll get back to you on that. There's more to speak, because the coach, I think one thing we should be looking at is, that quote from Pep Guardiola after the game saying that he doesn't think he's even good enough to manage Manchester City. He feels that he's not good enough currently to manage City. Karen, let me bring you in. We're talking about Pep Guardiola, and even the struggles could even get worse. Their woes could even get worse if there should be a verdict from the FA with regards to their 115, breaches. That's a matter, for discussion on another day. But you're looking at Man City and what they're going through. You think they have what it takes, Pep Guardiola being the pilot of this ship, to steer them back towards, glory?
I know Pep Guardiola, for instance, likes challenges like this. I'm not saying this because of what he's going through now, but I strongly believe he will be able to come out of this, because we've seen him take challenges from Barcelona to Bayern Munich and then to Manchester.
But he never faced any of this.
Yes, but then these things happens in football. They do happen, and then the best way you can go about it is being able to change the fortunes of everything. You see, people are attributing it to the exclusion of Rodrigo, and I don't think one player is the cause. You know, Pep Guardiola is just playing some mind games to take off attention from him that he's not the best person. But then, sincerely, he knows he'll be able to deliver. He knows he'll be able to find his fortunes back. But then, what they need to do right now is forget about the philosophy and everything, and then start bringing out motivations, like manage to win matches. Not about how well you play.
Not to heckle, in their last 2 games after they've lost, we've seen Gundogan come out to say that he believes that mentally they are not strong, they are not there, and they lack confidence, which the coach refuted when he was asked about it. Then after they lost to Manchester United, their own player, that's Bernardo Silva, comes out to say that they are playing like 15-year-olds. Like, even the players themselves feel, they whatever they've used to do or they used to do back then has taken a nosedive.
See, from the onset, I kept saying this thing was a problem of lack of confidence, and then like lack of motivation. There's a proper word, lack of motivation.
And who should that one come from?
Joseph Guardiola, because see, this group of players have won everything available. They've won the Champions League, they've won the league back to back, FA Cup, everything. So in actual sense, there's no motivation behind the season they are playing. They just want to have fun. And the one thing also is there are some crop of players who feel they've not been treated right.
You think so within the City team?
Yes, with example is Kyle Walker.
Wow.
Yes, he feels Pep Guardiola hasn't treated him right.
Kyle Walker, Pep Guardiola actually stopped Kyle Walker from making a move to Bayern Munich. How would he say he's not been treated well?
These are media stuff.
Okay.
He feels he has not been treated right. So he's also not willing to give his all as of now.
You think so?
Yes. From the look of the players, you see their demeanor and how they play on the field. You see, he's saving his last for the best, because they are all eyeing Saudi Arabia and stuff.
You're sure about that?
And then the age factor. These players are, you have a midfield pivot of Gundogan and then KDB who are more than 30 years.
Yeah.
You see, so these players, and then the players supposed to step in are Rico Lewis and then Nunez. But then these players, how can they sustain or how can they hold a ship or a team like Manchester City? You see, so where Pep Guardiola started making mistakes was not able to integrate, like merge the youngsters with the aged players. But then he kept on relying on the aged players and then playing them week in, week out. You see, he left a player like Cole Palmer. He left him free.
Was that a mistake from him?
Very big mistake. I'm sure that would be the greatest regret of his life, his football career. You see, so he didn't integrate the players well. He left them off the hook. They just left somehow, and then he brought in players who were not up to the standard of Manchester City.
Wow.
Yes, that's what he did. Jack Grealish is a flop. 54 matches without a goal.
Wow.
Yes, for 100 million player to play 50, and then see he brought in Savinho. Yes, we agree Savinho is doing well, but bro, 20 matches, no goal, no assist.
Wow. So you also believe, you're of the opinion that Pep Guardiola could turn things around?
Yes, for sure.
Wow. Let me get back to you. Now let's go deeply. Let's delve deeper into the quote from the coach himself. You know, when they lost some time back, he spoke about harming himself. He spoke about hurting himself, scratching his nose and all that. Fine. Now, he's recovered a bit, but that hasn't changed the fortunes of the club. Now they lose again. He debunks what Ilkay Gundogan says, that mentally they are weak. They are short in confidence and all that. And then also he comes out to say that he doesn't believe he's even good enough to manage Manchester City now. Do you think these are just, I don't know, just mere words, or you think he's being honest, and very brutally frank with his assessment?
Josiah, in literature, in poetry, we have what we call pun, right? That's the play with words. You are allowed, romance.
You think that's what he's doing? Yeah, but literally, we saw the scratches. You see, we saw, all those cuts on his face when he said,
Josiah. Pep Guardiola has forever been a demanding coach. I get to the point. I mean, he demands so much of himself, tactically, technically, because he understands the game to the extent that what is happening to him currently, he does not understand
himself.
I am telling you for a fact. Because, you see, if anybody, like I indicated, if anybody told you that this is something that is likely to happen to a City team led by Pep Guardiola,
you'd have said no.
You'd have said no, a big no. I get to the point to the extent that, see, losing 9 matches out of 12, That is untellable. That is a story that not even the footballing gods would have envisaged. So you see, for him to have stated that he does not even believe in himself that he's good enough to lead Manchester City, it's just a nuance. It's just a statement out there to
he's
deflect.
playing with words.
He's playing with words just to deflect the attention from the squad. Because to be candid with you, what's the name? Courage did say that the people do not, or the players do not have the capacity, or they do not have the what's the name, the motivation to go on again.
You think he's failed as a psychologist? You think Pep Guardiola has failed, and mentally he's showing his real, strength as far as being mentally tough is concerned? Like, he's not really mentally tough. You think it
is not his job to be mentally tough.
No, but we've seen coaches who are mentally tough.
You see,
the likes of Diego Simeone, we've seen coaches who have.
There are different characteristics when it comes to coaches. I get to the point. I mean, what Pep Guardiola has attained and achieved in football, you can compare.
No, but we are talking about the mental aspect, the psychological aspect of Pep Guardiola.
So I'm saying that when it comes to the mental aspect of the game, there are coaches that are mentally strong. A coach like Jose Mourinho.
Pep isn't.
Mentally perfect.
Pep isn't.
Okay. Pep is someone who dwells on winning.
His tactics.
Pep's mental toughness comes as a result of winning. But if you look at coaches like Jose Mourinho or what's the name, Diego Simeone, even if they don't win, they are out there in the faces of the media. They are out there defending their team. They are out there giving you reasons for which they haven't lost.
So in a nutshell, you are concluding that Pep Guardiola has failed mentally, psychologically. He's not that strong.
No, I am not saying that he has failed. I am saying that I am not going to take the attributes of certain coaches.
No, but mentally, we're talking about Pep Guardiola. If you are profiling Pep Guardiola, then mentally he's not as strong as we think he is, and that is as a result of the the rippling effect is what
the rippling effect. Yeah. The rippling effect of the lack of results is
what telling. It's so telling.
Yes, it is affecting him, because as a coach who has had so much success in the game, as a coach who has gone on to win four EPL trophies, unprecedented in the history of the EPL, for you to be having such a season, right? It's going to be telling. It's going to have its toll on you. And you see, that is where, as a person or as a coach, you might want to compare him to other coaches, but the success level that he has enjoyed, no other coach currently has been able to enjoy that success. For you to drop a little bit, for that to be telling on you mentally. So yes, it's going to be telling on him mentally. And the biggest problem that he has right now is that people are going to be questioning him as to his ability to reinvent himself and to reinvent his team. That is where the problem is.
And do you even stick by what you said earlier on, that based on all those factors? Because you wouldn't say Pep Guardiola would get it wrong 12 times tactically in games.
No.
So do you think mentally he has what it takes to revive their season? He has what it takes to turn things around again.
Coaches have done it, right? Carlo Ancelotti has done it.
But these are you mentioned that these are coaches with strong mentality.
I have to give precedence to be able to answer the question that you just posed. Coaches have done it. Jose Mourinho has been able to do it, right? Carlo Ancelotti has been able to do it. When he left Real Madrid, he went to Napoli, came to Everton. The lowest job that he could ever take, because at that time Napoli were fighting for relegation, right? Yeah. From Napoli, he went back to Real Madrid and then won the Champions League with them, and then won the Champions League, and then won the La Liga with them. So I can say for a fact that with the competency level of Pep Guardiola, he has whatever it takes to reinvent himself, to reinvent his team, because he's leading a team that has the resources to back him up. He's leading a team that has the financial willpower to go into the transfer market and then get the requisite number of players that he needs, who are of the highest standard that he can reinvent himself with. And coaches have done it. Sir Alex Ferguson has done it. Arsene Wenger has done it. A lot of coaches have done it. So precedence states that yes, he can do it, but has he got the mental fortitudeness for him to stay, right? And I can say that he has, because he just signed a two-year contract, knowing very well that they are going to find it difficult, retaining the EPL, because he indicated prior to the start of the season. Was it based on
retaining the EPL, or based on what the possible, outcome of the verdict would be? Is it as a result of did he sign that 2-year contract based on retain the EPL on just what could happen if the FA should find him guilty?
The FA cannot find Pep guilty. The FA
it's City. Find, yes, City. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you see, you can't jump ship when the team is in trouble, when the team might likely be in trouble. So
that's one of the reasons why he signed a 2-year deal.
For continuity. Because you see, when there's continuity, even if they are demoted to maybe the championship, that continuity is going to work because it happens. You understand? I mean, look at the Calciopoli that happened in what's the name? Italy. Juventus were demoted. A couple of players left, but the core of the players were kept. The manager was kept, and the following season they moved back straight up to Serie A. So for the sake of loyalty, for the sake of longevity, for the sake of continuity, I think that those are the reasons for which he signed the contract.
Okay.
So yes, he has the competency, he has the ability to reinvent himself and then get out of this mess. But it is not something that's going to just start in their next match against Aston Villa.
Okay, so he believes they could get back, but not now. But do you also side with Pep Guardiola that he's not good enough? You think
he's the best fit for the job.
And there's no way City are going to sack him.
No. Someone who just signed a contract extension just barely some months ago.
Your coaches are hired to be fired.
No, if you are going to sack him, they are going to pay him his 2 years plus the rest left on it.
You think money is a problem for City?
Money with Pep or Man City, money is not a motivation. Do you understand? Because you see, Man City are where they are because of Pep. Like Chelsea were where they were
because of Mourinho.
I get to the point. You see, let's be factual. There's no current coach in the world better than Pep Guardiola.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
No. That's your opinion. Statistics are there. The statistics are there.
Don Carlo with Real Madrid.
No, Don Carlo with Real Madrid.
He's won the Champions League twice in the last 3 seasons.
No, he's won the Champions League twice last season.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you look at what
with no breaches.
Let's be. We can all go about the legalities of everything, right? Proud to this. Chelsea were spending, humongous amount of resources to gather their ever so-called best squad, right? Monies are spent. I mean, there's a problem with how they've been able to.
But within limit.
I don't care about the legalities. I'm not a lawyer. What I'm trying to say is that currently, right, there's no better fit to manage Manchester City than Pep Guardiola.
That's what you think. All right. So that's what Mauli thinks. That's what Force thinks. So we are still talking about Pep Guardiola, and his recent fate at Manchester City. It doesn't really look so good for them. But on the flip